Hey, how have you been, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supernatural. This time we're on season 14, episode 7, titled Unhuman Nature. And the last episode was Optimism, with Dean and Jack teaming up for a hunt, and Sam and Charlie teaming up for a hunt. And it was just those two kind of duos, and Jack and Dean were on a case to hunt down Harper. Well, not initially to hunt her down, but just to ask her questions about her dead co-worker. But it did turn out in the end that she was actually evil. She was a necromancer who killed her boyfriend, so he'd stay with her after high school, and then brought him back to life and kept on feeding him people so that he would stay alive. So he was like a zombie lover of hers. But yeah, they were doing that thing, and I think Sam and Charlie were hunting a musker, like a fly, like a humanoid fly-looking thing, that was doing some stuff. So yeah, I can't remember what they said about like what the law surrounding the musker is, but they were staking out the same kind of pest control place for like an entire day. So not much happened until nightfall, until the end of it. But that, like with Sam and Charlie, we did still get a lot of good dialogue and a lot of good kind of overall interaction between them. Got a good bit of Charlie's history over on the Apocalypse world before the Angel War and everything started up. And you know, she was, for the most part, she was like the Charlie on Earth 1. She was still gay. She was still like a programmer as well. She had the same job, and she worked for what's his face, Dick Roman. She still worked for Dick Roman. I don't know if he was a Leviathan, or don't know if they even had Leviathans on that Earth, but she did work under him, and that all, and she did have a girlfriend as well. She had a girlfriend, Kara the baker. I feel bad calling her that because I don't really know her last name, but like that's as far as we got out of her. She was a baker, and they were very, very happy together, all up until Michael and Lucifer decided to be dickwads and fuck all of that up with an EMP, and the world went into a kind of more of a human apocalypse before it went into like an actual biblical apocalypse. Like, you know, they set off an EMP that wiped out technology everywhere. I think it was over North America initially, but yeah, like they like set off an EMP that wiped out all technology. So then like they had to like people started going crazy without it. Like food started going scarce, resources as a whole. People started mobbing together. People went crazy and killed each other. And unfortunately, Kara was one of those losses. She was killed by presumably like a mob or like a group of people fighting over food. So Charlie unfortunately lost her. And then came the angels probably from heaven to try and take over the world, and Michael came down. So then I think it was soon after that maybe Bobby found Charlie, or vice versa, and she became a hunter, and she helped out in the human versus angel war. And then everything that we saw in the last season went down with her. So yeah, but it was a nice bit of developing backstory to her character, and we found out that she did initially have plans to actually retire. Like this was supposed to be one of, if not her last, like case with the Winchesters and with the Hunters, and she was gonna just move somewhere far away from monsters, just try and live a life of some normalcy at least. So yeah, but then Sam kind of did talk her into, like maybe staying, just finding out what she can actually build with her life here with the Hunters and everything. And you know, I think I very much do understand why she would want to leave, because again, the life isn't for everyone. So you know, like she has very like as much as she may have built a family within this little group of hunters, like it's still not, like it may not be enough for her. Like it may be best for her to move away from something that, like from a life that took Kara away from her. And you know, she like in general, she may just want to move like back into like a normal life as best as she can. So yeah, like, you know, she had something good taken away from her. So you know, like her being a hunter, it does kind of help her put some good back in the world with Sam and Dean and everyone else, and you know, like actually taking down monsters and saving people. But I mean, yeah, she did make a good point of showing that, you know, as badass as hunting looks, it is very, like 99 times out of 10, it is very much a life that just puts more tears in than like any kind of victories or anything like that. So, you know, We'll see if she actually does stay in the bunker, or if she does just stay in contact with Sam and Dean and do something. But yeah, we'll see. Jack and Dean were hunting Harper the Necromancer, and we saw kind of like Dean kind of talking Jack through what courting is and kind of love, and like Jack grew very, very curious of what like courting and like what like romance and love was and stuff, and you know, he like he kind of felt like some kind of special, like he kind of felt that Harper was falling in love with him, which wasn't the case. She was just kind of preparing him to kind of like to give her boyfriend some dinner. But yeah, he did kind of grow curious about how kind of humans interact and everything. And we were like, every time we see him, we're always shown like a new aspect of his innocence. And in that episode, it was very much him just kind of growing curious about like how love works, and like just asking Dean to give him the talk and everything. So that was a very, very kind of sweet moment to see, with him kind of exploring that as well. And it like the dynamic between them has very, very much like improved since Jack was first introduced into the show. So it's nice to see more and more Dean and Jack moments in general. So yeah, but the episode did end with Jack coughing up more blood in the bunker, and he eventually just collapsed onto the floor, and Dean didn't know what to do. So I can only assume we're going to be picking up right back again from that episode and from that point onwards. So yeah, but that is all I have from Optimism. So yeah, episode 7, titled Unhuman Nature. Let's go.
But I understand you got your vows to keep and all that, but you really should have helped me.
Oh shit! Oh, he's talking to a dead dude.
So you brought this on yourself. But look, I will take some of your advice.
Nick, you're going down a very, very dark path.
Perhaps the peace I'm looking for does lie in the power of prayer.
You fucking crucified the dude.
I do agree with you, Padre.
Oof. Yeah, I have a feeling this isn't something so simplistic that like cowpole or some shit is gonna fix.
It was taking so long.
Oh shit! Jack? What? He's human now. Get him to a doctor. Yes. Oh, he's not the only one. Or this is just like a genuine ER.
Sir, I just need some basic information. That's the procedure. I do the workup, then I take him back.
Yeah, the basic information is he's sick.
Do you see anyone here who isn't?
Good point. Get him to Sioux Falls. Get him to Alex. She can help.
You do know his name, right? Cause of death?
Stabbed.
He was stabbed through the heart and he exploded. Okay, you know what? We don't have time for this.
All right, he's sick. His name is Jack Klein.
Great job, Cass.
There, you got all the basics. Now, what does he need to do to see a doctor?
Apparently collapse. Apparently collapse. God damn it.
Hey, everybody. Jack, hey, we're right
Yeah,
here.
come on. We're here with you, dude. Just hang in there, okay? For me, for all of us. Yeah? Don't die on me, Jacker boy. I'm getting a shit ton of anxiety thinking about what this could be now that he's human, because that means he's prone to everything. The last time we were in a hospital, like with the Winchesters in hospital, it never ends well.
Jack's in total systemic failure. His body is in the process of shutting down.
Oh shit. How and why?
You saved all of us from Apocalypse World.
Well, that's true.
So,
Yeah,
before you go,
you're a
I just wanted to
badass
say
ginger witch.
Thank you.
Well, if it's Gracie needs, he can have mine.
Oh dear.
That won't be enough, will it?
Won't do. Jack is part archangel and needs a much stronger force. And probably some kind of magic, and he needs it quick.
How quick?
Dean?
I don't exactly know, but he's entering a critical phase.
Dean, you doing good?
Fine, but then his body will give way and...
Get away from me now. Go!
Literally, just go back in. Okay. Some self-control. Some self-control. That is good to see. Dude's on a fucking killing spree. This is not good at all. He needs to talk to someone.
Hey, pal, brought you some carbs.
Die.
We can fix this. I know we can. We
So
can
what's your
fix
plan
this. I mean, I appreciate his bucket list and
I don't
everything,
want to waste
but
time arguing.
we
I know you disagree.
Did I say I disagree? Or taking baby for some exercise? You think that's a good idea?
You gonna teach him how to drive? Is he gonna teach Jack how to drive?
Mom.
Because he said he wanted to get a parking ticket. Is he gonna teach Jack how to drive? Tell me we can see him teaching Jack how to drive.
Why don't you drive?
Yeah!
Dean,
Teach him how to drive.
D for drive.
D for drive, yeah. I need to learn how to drive as well. I'm way past the legal age. I need to learn how to drive.
No, you're doing just fine, okay? Try using 1 foot, not 2. And, just relax.
I've always wondered about that. Wouldn't it be
Don't
easier to
overthink
use
it.
2
Here we
feet? Because then you just have 1 foot on each necessary pedal.
See?
But then again, I don't know how to drive, so it's not really coming from an experienced mind.
Whoa, let's keep it in between.
No, yeah, just one, just one line.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. My boy's driving. Yeah. Oh god, he's so cute. Just like Dean. Just like Dean.
My wife and my son were there. Alone. Till you showed up.
Oh, this guy knows something. Yeah, he knows some words. Okay, Nick. Yeah, let him talk. Don't crush his windpipe before he gets a chance to. Jeez. They fish. Oh, they're fishing. Ah, this is some real father-son stuff going on.
You are a cheap date.
I miss more time with you. I'm getting that life isn't all these big, amazing moments. It's time together that
I
matters.
got a little bit of dust in my eye. Do not fucking judge me, okay?
Like this.
Ugh.
Well, who'd have thought hanging out with me would
Stupid
make you
fucking
sentimental?
dust.
Please, sit.
Sure, the bed's not just gonna, the chair's not gonna turn into flames of holy fire.
As for my curriculum vitae,
Because Rowena said they needed Archangel Grace. So I'm assuming you have something more obtainable. Oh, you do have Grace. You have Grace.
Archangel Grace.
vintage, from Gabriel.
Oh.
In trade for my homebrewed cloaking spell.
There's this guy.
Said his name was Abraxas.
Abraxas.
I don't know that name.
Sounds deep. That sounds demonic.
Lucifer knew that name.
Yeah.
This is
But
crazy.
it sounds demonic.
I know. You were possessed.
What? You were possessed.
He was possessed.
Yeah, this, hold this. It's not your fault.
Oh, that's why he blacked out. That's why he couldn't remember what happened between meeting the guy and actually being covered in blood. Oh.
It was still you.
Oh, God.
I can't let that slide.
Oh, shit. I have a very bad... No, Nick, don't do this.
Please.
Nick, don't do this. Don't hammer him. Don't give him the hammer treatment.
Yeah.
Please.
Nick, you're better than this, okay? Come on.
I'm sorry, Frank.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, shit. Nick, don't do this. Do not do this. Is he rebooting? Is Jack.exe rebooting? Jack-a-boy? Give me those eyes. Show me those beautiful eyes. There we go.
Definite improvement.
Great.
Great.
Yeah.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about.
Jack.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Did you say the words right?
I did!
Why is it not working?
Say them again.
Science is sometimes trial and error.
Trial and fuck it. I'll show you trial and error.
Through experimentation.
This was an experiment.
You
You never said that. If Jack dies, I will find you.
And I will burn you to ash. I don't care how many RVs you fucking own. I will burn them all down until you pop out. Yeah?
That's how you first found me.
No, that's the empty. I know that. I know that goo, that black goo.
Who I am, if I'm not you.
No, don't you dare raise Lucifer.
No pain, no sorrow.
No.
I want that back.
No, don't you dare raise Lucifer. Don't you dare.
I feel now what I didn't feel then. Where are you?
No, don't you dare resurrect Lucifer, Nick. No. Fuck's sake.
Watch over him, stay by his side as he dies.
No, I'm not staying by his side as he dies. I'm staying by his side as we all find a way together to save him. I'm not letting Jack die. This is not happening. No, you can end the episode on me all you fucking want. You can end it on me all you want. This is not happening. Jack is not dying. He is living a good, happy, healthy, clean life, and that's gonna be that. Fuck me. Wow. Just wow. Just fucking wow. Okay, so where to start? I'll start with the Nick stuff, because that seems to be like, I mean, Nick and Jack were the two prominent figures in this episode, but with Nick, I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed after the last scene of him that we saw. But damn, Nicky's going dark. Nicky, you are going dark, my boy. He's just, I mean, this is turning much more into some kind of sick revenge mission, like some kind of sick vendetta, more than it is going like for him actually trying to solve an unclosed case. You know, it's like he's not taking, I mean, he's very clearly not taking legal like issues into it, like into account here, because he's just going around killing those he believes are involved. And you know, and I think that's actually an interesting kind of parallel that they explored in this episode, that, you know, even without Lucifer, he's still got his own demons, just far less biblical. But yeah, and I think, you know, he when he was interrogating that cop, mentioned him like Abraxas, and from the get-go, that did not sound like a normal human name. It sounded like demonic, like biblical if anything, but at the very most, it sounded demonic. And he even said, like, Nick even said, like he felt like he knew that name. He felt like Lucifer knew that name as well, and he still, like, even if it's not fully intact, he has memories of what Lucifer did inside his body. So if anything, like, you know, if he digs deep, then he could maybe find like a meeting or like some kind of knowledge of who this Abraxas is. And the cop said that, you know, he walked up the path, saw, so like he saw a guy, like he saw Abraxas coming out of the house, and then he blacked out, and then the last thing he remembered was sitting in his car covered in their blood. So Abraxas possessed the cop, did the horrible deed, and then left the body in the car. So yeah, Abraxas may well be the next name that he's trying to hunt down. This might mean he returns to the bunker, because now he's got a far more supernatural lead than a human lead. But dude's going fucking dark. He's just, like, everyone he comes across, he's killing. Like, first with Artie, then with the priest that he talked to, that Artie apparently made a confession to, about what he saw that night. And, you know, I think that's what's probably even creepier, the fact that he kills the people, and then he actually kind of like monologues over their dead bodies, like as if they're still alive, and as if he's actually talking to them. Like I don't know if we did. We didn't see him doing it with Artie. That was probably like an off-screen thing, but we just saw him kind of looking in the mirror, putting the hammer down, and then leaving. He did it with the priest, which was the creepiest possible opening this episode could have had. And then he almost did it with the woman outside the club, but I'm glad he didn't. But you know, I think like that was like one of the moments where we saw he still had self-control, but it was one drop of self-control that he had, and it was very, very close to leaving, like just dropping off that line that made him who he is. And you know, I think at this point he's borderline just sociopathic, psychopathic, or whatever. Just he's borderline, like he's on the borderline of losing his sanity and just doing whatever, which at this point he pretty much already is. But yeah, I mean, he's killing those involved, and the ending of that ending, I did not like that ending one bit. I did not like it one bit. I do not want to see that devilish douchebag coming back to life. No, not after everything we've been through. Like, the writers need to stop milking the Lucifer storyline. It's done. He's dead. We got a mostly satisfying ending with Dean stabbing the shit out of him and blowing up his archangel-ness. So, you know, he needs to stay dead, okay? I don't want to see, like, as soon as we saw that kind of black, like there was something, like, just kind of, like, swaying about, and then we saw something rising out of black goo, and it reminded me of how Castiel was in the empty, and the cosmic entity started forming up as well. That's a huge no-no from me. That is a no-no. You know what? If he's going to be resurrected in the empty, I don't want it to happen, but fine. As long as he stays his dickhead ass in the empty, as long as he stays there and he doesn't get brought back, then I'm fine. You know, I doubt he can annoy the cosmic entity so much into just letting him roam free again on Earth. But no, just keep Lucifer dead. He's done. There are so many other things you can do. Okay, there are so many other like big god level like villains you can actually make up. Lucifer's been going on since season 4, if not season 5. I think, yeah, season 4. Well, season 5 for the most part, but yeah, he's been going on since then. It's now season 14, yeah? It's been going on long enough. It's been going on very, very, very much long enough, so just keep him dead. Just keep him dead. But yeah, this, but what he was saying to Lucifer as well, like, he actually, like, he doesn't want to stop killing. Like, he's found some kind of joy and, like, satisfaction in killing, and, like, you know, I think this might just be the first kind of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like this might just be the first serial killer we've had. I feel like that's the path he's going down, because there is no way that he is killing all these people. Like, there's 3 so far: Artie, the priest, and the cop. There's no way he's killing all these people, and at some point it's not going to get tied back to him. Like there's not going to be something like someone reported missing or something, or like even like neighbors complaining about like a smell or something coming out of the house about the rotting corpse, and then cops go and investigate and they find out the person's dead. Like, there is no way, like, a few episodes down the line, there's not going to be something like bodies reported missing, like, not even supernatural murder, just genuinely beaten to death. Like, you know, I mean, it might show up on Sam and Dean's radar, and they might need to like find out what, like, who and what the victims are, and then find out, oh wait, they all had some involvement in like the case of like the murder of Nick's wife and son. So, you know, I don't know how that's going to go down. They might have to end up tracking him down, but it's all, I feel like it's all very much going to come tying back to him. But, you know, like, yeah, what he was saying, like, and like, he was like, you know, like, he feels like he could do all of this a lot better if Lucifer was back, and he, you know, he misses kind of Lucifer's influence on him and everything. That's just, I do not want Lucifer back on this show. Okay, he was a great villain, and then and you know, like, I was glad we got to see him die at the end of last season. I was like, great, that's it, no more Lucifer. His arc is over. He was a dick at the beginning. He's a dick now. Just kill him. Just fine. Just wash him away. And now it's like, oh, look who's rising up from the empty. It's Lucifer. No. Just no. Just keep him in there if you're gonna bring him. If you're gonna bring him back, keep him in the empty. Don't let him be smart enough to annoy the cosmic entity into letting him out. Don't let him reach a Castiel level of intelligence. But yeah, that I have no idea what's in store for Nick at this point. Because, you know, I think at this point he may well, I mean, now that he knows the name Abraxas, and he knows, like, I think he knows that Lucifer knew that name, so now he knows that there's more biblical influence on this, like, on this case, and that's why it was closed. Like not just the witness thing, but the whole, like, the facts behind it. But I mean, you know, like, that makes me think if he's actually going to go back to the bunker and maybe lie that he's not doing anything, and like he's been fine all along, maybe he's just going to try and do some kind of idle research from one of the books, like trying to figure out something, and then maybe try and summon Abraxas and see what the fuck went down. But I don't know. All I know is he's going down a dark path, and it does not look like he's coming out of it anytime soon. But you know, I feel like they might have to put him down at some point as well, because if he attempts to bring back either Lucifer or Abraxas, then they're gonna have to put him down. They will have to put him down. So that will be the end of Nick himself as well. Like, it kind of makes sense. Like, you know, like he was the first ever host for Lucifer. He was the one that allowed Lucifer to actually walk free on the earth in the first place. So, you know, you want to kill something like that permanently, then you want to take out the original host as well. So yeah, I mean, Nick was the original host, but Sam is the one true host. So I'm pretty sure, like, and this time, again, I don't want them to bring him back, but if they do, at least this time, let Sam be the one that kills him as well, because that was actually something that bothered a lot of people in the finale, that it was actually Dean who killed him, which it was nice to see, but again, with Sam having been the one under the most torment and torture under Lucifer's influence, it would be a much more satisfying kind of revenge kill to actually kill Lucifer himself. So yeah, but regardless of what happens, I don't want to see Lucifer back. I don't want to see him like rising and shining out of the empty like some kind of newborn bitch. But yeah, that was Nick's thing. But he's like just not. I think even without like the Lucifer thing, I think he's just going mad with vengeance and mad with power as well. So I think he does just need some urgent help in general. But yeah, that was Nick's thing. And Jack, kitty Jack, my boy Jack. This episode tore me apart with Jack. He's because I was from the beginning, I was kind of like I was very much in an innocent until proven guilty kind of mindset, because like, you know, I was like thinking, you know, he like, just because his dad's evil doesn't mean he's going to be evil. He has a very, very strong kind of like naivete about him, which is understandable. But at the same time, it's like, unless he's taught how to be evil and unless he's raised under the wrong hands, then he has just as much potential to be good. Like, mentally he's born like anyone else. Like, you know, like no one is ever born evil. No one is ever born thinking, oh, I've got to, you know, I'm going to be a killer, or I'm going to do bad things. Like, unless they're taught to do bad things, and unless they're actually taught to be like evil to the people around them, then they will not, like, just like, you know, like no 2-year-old has ever gone around on like a mass murdering spree or anything like that. So with Jack, it's like he's had to struggle for so long, like proving to people and proving to himself that he can be good and that he can respect his mother's words and wishes for him, that he can, you know, be of help, and he's not like his father. And, you know, he's never cared about Lucifer. He has never ever wanted Lucifer's support or guidance, or he's never like thought of Lucifer as a good dad or even as a good person. So, you know, like, with this, he even explored that, like, when he was born, like, and even being, like, a Nephilim, he's, like, you know, he was so used to this power, he was so used to being able to show people that he was powerful and that he could help, and, like, living at that level of, like, greatness and everything. You know, as soon as this season started off, he just immediately fell into the kind of bandwagon of, like, not being able to do anything without his powers, or like just believing that without his powers he was useless or something like that, and things like that. So with this, it's like, you know, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to see him so at peace with dying. The fact that, you know, like, as a human, you know, like, he wanted to live, but at the same time, it's like, if he, like, his mindset was, you know, if he's gonna die, then he wants to die doing what he wants. He had his whole bucket list, like getting a parking ticket and like just a bunch of normal human stuff, you know. And, you know, like, it was you know, like, it was just hard to watch him actually go through that, to be so content with death and the idea of actually dying at that point just without his powers. It's like, you would never think someone as naive as him would ever really consider that, but at the same time, it's like, if you're that naive, chances are you might be that peaceful as well. But yeah, but we figured out what I mean. We kind of figured out what was wrong with him. I think taking him to the hospital, like, which is what he should have. I mean, with Jack, I think I don't really blame. Like, I mean, what Jack did at the beginning, like coughing up that stuff and like being under that condition and not telling anyone. I am pretty much the exact fucking same. Like, I mean, I'm not coughing up blood or anything, but if I ever do feel like an immense amount of pain in a part of my body, or if I'm just like suddenly don't feel so good, you know, not in a disintegration sense, but you know, if I actually do feel like I'm not really well, I just kind of leave it to myself. Like I very rarely tell anyone, and I avoid going to the doctor because it just makes it all the more real, which is very, very bad. Do not follow my footsteps, okay? Like, actually go to the doctor if something's wrong with you. But yeah, I did pretty much relate to what he was actually doing at the beginning. But then they did take him to the hospital. I mean, I feel like they should. I mean, they took him to the nearest hospital like they could find. But I mean, I feel like not just for crossover's sake, but I feel like for like kind of you know, because they know Jodie and Alex and everything. I feel like if they took him to Sioux Falls and if they took him to Alex, it would have given them a better idea of what to do. Because then, you know, because like they've hunted as well, so they know. Like, chances are that they could actually tell them if it was actually a supernatural kind of threat that Jack was facing. But you know, the doctor. I think the way the tests worked that the doctor did was they ran all the basic stuff first and it showed negative, but there was still something wrong with him. So that's why they said, yeah, we need to run more tests, like the more extensive kind of really like life or death kind of stuff. But I do feel like if they actually took him to Alex, then chances are she could tell him, like, you know, like, nothing's wrong with him in a human sense, but I feel like, you know, you told me, you know, he was born in Nephilim, so I feel like this may well be more on a supernatural type of playing field. But yeah, so Rowena did kind of scan him and then figured out that, you know, he like his like the Archangel Grace being missing makes more sense because again, he was born with that. He was born with that power, with that kind of balance of human and archangel within him. So when one side of the scale gets tipped off completely, it just kind of makes the other side completely unbalanced, and it's not what Thanos likes, you know. That's not balanced at all, and the cells were trying to find some way to kind of cooperate with each other without like in spite of having despite not having the any grace to kind of support the body, and they were gobbling each other up, and he was just dying because of that. So it was pretty much still kind of like a bodily shutdown of sorts. So yeah, I hate that fucking shaman dude now because he was a dick, and I had creepy vibes. I didn't want to say anything, but I did have creepy vibes from him. But you know, he kind of, you know, he was running it as an experiment, like it was something to add to his books of fucking lore or something. Like, day 278 gave the pretty angel some angel grace to help with his son. Didn't work. Noted. Probably even fucking did that, or probably did it on a voice memo or some shit. But yeah, he was running it as an experiment to see if it would actually work without actually knowing or guaranteeing that it could work. But yeah, Castiel will be on a revenge mission for that bastard if Jack does die, which he won't. But yeah, so the angel grace didn't work, and my favorite two scenes. First of all, obviously Jack learning to drive with Dean. Like, it's not a ship or anything, but like their kind of pairing, you know, is Jack and Dean. I think Dak just sounds kind of weird, but Gene, yeah, they are official, like not an actual romantic pairing, but you know, just like even like a brotherly kind of pairing, or like a father. So that sounds weird. But yeah, regardless, Jack and Dean, it's a thing. So if you guys want to go get on, I mean, I don't know if it already exists or not, but if it doesn't, if you guys want to get on Tumblr, get that shit trending, then by all means do so. But you know, yeah, Jack learning how to drive as well. That was a sight to fucking behold. Reminded me, I need to learn how to drive. I am past the legal age of driving, and I need to learn how to drive. But doing so just fills me with anxiety. So. Yeah, but seeing how much fun Jack was having with them, and you know, like copying Dean's kind of mannerisms on. He's done that. He did that even in like the beginning of season 13 as well, like when they were in the hotel room having the beer and like the burgers and everything, just copying everything Dean did. I think Dean is definitely like he's like kind of showcased as the coolest out of him and Sam's kind of like the bookworm and the guy with kind of experience with kind of emotional stress and everything. So like, you know, I feel like for tips on how to actually act and be cool, like act cool and be cool, I think he definitely follows after Dean's, like putting his hand out the side window and everything, just one hand on the wheel. That's definitely him, just kind of mimicking Dean, and it's really fun to see that as well. And the chemistry between the two of them, like Alexandra and Jensen as well, is just undeniable. So, you know, and like this is especially since he was like a new cast member in the last season, it was very obvious to see that, you know, like he like every time there's a new cast, but like I've seen it mentioned sometimes in different like convention clips. Like every time there's a new cast member on the show, someone who's prominent as well, like a a major-ish character. Jensen and Jared always prank them in the worst of ways. And you know, like you can tell from the bloopers as well that, you know, like they even said like they work really, really long hours on set that can be really tiring, so they like to shake things up and actually try and make each other break character, or try and make the people around them break character. So, you know, you know, even in the serious moments they can get down to work and actually pull the scenes off, but even in those moments they can just like just say the stupidest things and just just make a really lively, fun atmosphere for the cast and crew to work on. And I think I remember like a story when that scene from last season where Sam was meant to show Jack the video that his mother made him. Like in one of the takes, it was like he handed him the laptop and then he opened it and it was a picture of dicks that Alexander had to look at. So, you know, he's had some fun times with them, and I feel like with this as well, like for this season, for the blooper reel, I feel like this would have some equally enjoyable and entertaining kind of moments from behind the scenes as well. So yeah, but I mean, all in all, that scene and the fishing scene as well, like talking about how John once took Dean fishing as well, which I never knew he did, because as we all know, John was not Father of the Year. He was constantly moving around the country, sometimes left the boys on their own, and just overall he just kind of abused them. There's no point sugarcoating it, right? He did neglect them a lot and abuse them. And we did have, like, I think back in season 2, I think it was, we did have some scenes where they kind of reconciled, but at the same time, it's like, did they still have bad history with him? So yeah, but he said, like, from the way Dean talked about that memory of fishing with John, like Jack could tell it was the happiest memory that he had of John. So, you know, and I think it was Jack's suggestion as well to actually go fishing, and it spawned from that idea. And, you know, even him saying, like, you know, like the one thing he would regret after having died was not spending more time with Dean, and especially since they both got off to a rocky start, this is such a good development arc that they're going through, like where they actually spend some more time together, and they actually, you know, like just like brothers, or just like a family. And, you know, Sam mentioned that, you know, like Dean is taking this harder than anyone else because when Jack was first born, he treated him like he was a monster, like he was the devil's son, because he was, but he treated him like he was evil all along until Cass came along, which I don't blame. I mean, I did, and I still kind of do, but like where he was coming from, I totally get it. I never outwardly blamed Dean like he was just being like unnecessarily cruel. I could get where his anger was spawning from, but, you know, I was still kind of conflicted on that whole thing. But, you know, seeing them together now, it definitely lifts, like, my heart up, and it definitely kind of puts a smile on my face. And it's just nice to see them spending time together like that as well. So definitely a much cooler scene to actually go through. And yeah, I think definitely want to see more of them being like that as well. Like more with all of them. More Jack and Cass, more Jack and Dean, more Jack and Sam. Just Jack with all of them. But yeah, it's really cool to see him like that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the writers actually fix him up, because they're gonna fix him. You guys are not letting him die. If you die, we will all riot. If he dies, we will all riot. So yeah, you gotta get to work on that script, and, you know, get to work on, you know, actually fixing him, you know, finding a solution for him to live and everything like that. So yeah, was there, I mean, it was nice to see Rowena back again as well. That was a nice kind of welcome comeback. And I think in the beginning she was very reluctant because, you know, all it took was for Lucifer's name to be mentioned and she was like, yep, no, I'm out the door, not doing anything related to helping that bastard. But yeah, but she was very happy to hear that he died, as were many people. And I think she kind of had the same reaction to Dean as like to hearing that Jack was the son of Lucifer, like, oh, you know, the spawn of the devil can go die for all I care. And then she met him and she was like, yep, I am helping save this child in any way that I can. You know, no one is going to stop me. This child will live on to live a happy life, you know. Reminded me of Edna and Jack from The Incredibles, from Incredibles 2. Like, you know, at first she was like, I design costumes for superheroes. I can't possibly babysit. I've got too much to do. And then as soon as Jack walks in, she's like, I will protect this child with my fucking life. Anyone who tries to cross him will have me to deal with. So, you know, it was very nice to see that kind of a dynamic being done between with Rowena and Jack as well. She's very caring and protective when she finds the time and the reason to be. You know, she likes to put on this tough, witchy kind of exterior that she's, you know, not to be meddled with, which she's not. Anyone who crosses her should just run as fast as they can. But at the same time, when it comes to actually helping people and being good, she does have it in her. So yeah, but that was very, very nice to explore. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have. The shaman is gonna die, and Ketch should probably research a lot more on what his clients actually do and what their costs are. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode, I think. Yeah, but I mean, I think this also takes a better kind of look at like the human side of Jack. Like, you know, even like, again, it was obvious from the start that when he became human, he, like, chances are he would become more and more prone to human diseases. But I think, you know, like, him being human here is now the issue. Like, he needed that grace and he needed that power back to actually balance his kind of life force out. But, you know, at the same time, it's like the way he thought about his death was kind of human, because, like, I mean, when it comes to death, some people are scared, some people are actually at peace with it, because if they feel like, you know, because, like, I think, like, some people have the mentality that, you know, they've done enough with their lives, especially if they're older, and if they're far more elderly, then, like, you know, I've already lived a life, I can die knowing that I lived it as happily as I could. Some people are just like, you know, even if some people are young and they're dying, they're like, you know what, I'm not going to sit and mope around, I'm going to do what I want, I'm going to actually complete a bucket list and whatever. And so some people are afraid of death anyway, but with Jack, he definitely had the mindset of actually dying knowing that in his last few hours, or last few weeks, that, you know, he actually did what he wanted to do with the people he wanted to do it with. And we saw in this episode, it was, you know, like spending more time with Dean. So I don't know if in the next few episodes we're gonna see him spending time with Cass and Jack, with Cass and Sam individually. But if they are, then I am all for it. But I'm also all for, after that stuff is done with, them actually miraculously finding a way to fix Jack. So get the fuck on that. Get the fuck on a cure for my Jacker boy, because I'm not letting him die on my watch. Not at all. But yeah, that is pretty much it from this episode, and that was a great episode. But yeah, that was Supernatural Season 14, Episode 7, titled Unhuman Nature. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is in store for our Jack. And also for Nick. And, you know, just say yes or no if you want Lucifer back. I'm pretty sure 90% of people are going to say no. But yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.